to everyone. All right, welcome to our financial immunity session in uncertain times. Once again, welcome all of you from different parts of the world. We will start right now. And so just before we start, let me introduce myself. I will be your host for today. My name is Jean. I was a tax consultant with PricewaterhouseCoopers for past 8 years, and out of the 8 years, the last 2 years I was seconded to Vietnam to head and lead a tax practice. I came back to Malaysia in 2012, and at that time I was seeking for good business opportunity, and I chanced upon this global franchise business called Nu Skin through the introduction of my cousin, who is a dental surgeon in Singapore. All right. I also come from a family who runs F&B franchise. And so today it's about you. We want to talk about entrepreneurship and why this is the best time for you to do that. All right. Now, today we are also very honored to have invited two financial experts. Let me introduce them. One is Mr. Tan Jun Wen from Singapore. He was a government scholar, also a former deputy director of Singapore government, Industry of Finance and Trade, Ministry of Trade. And he was also the former right-hand man of Lee Hsien Loong. He was also a very successful stockbroker, former director of Kim Ing Securities. And before he started to embark into Nu Skin business, he was already a self-made millionaire, right? And I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce our second speaker, Shahira Rahim. She's also from Singapore, a former bank relationship manager for high net worth clients for at least 10 years in the banking industry. She is also a yoga and instructor, mom of a 3-month-old boy. Once again, congratulations, Shahira, for that. All right. So just a bit of a background, because of Mr. Tan Jun Wen's success in the Nu Skin business, he was also being interviewed by Singapore Sunday Times in 2012 about why a person with his kind of profile and background would do Nu Skin business. And in 2016, he was featured in Forbes Asia as one of the top 100 millionaire in the Nu Skin global franchise business. So today it's really honored to have two of them in here. So let's start. This is some of the latest articles by Forbes in May last year, December last year, and even January this year. Forbes has been saying this time is the greatest opportunity for entrepreneurship, for people to do business. Time is right now. And just last 2 months in April, Forbes again featured this topic called Pandemic Fuels Global Growth of Entrepreneurship and Startup Frenzies, which means there is a huge global movement towards entrepreneurship. People are not just working from home, people are starting up from home. And this is the latest number that proved that by Financial Times reports. It states that there is a huge boom in entrepreneurship in many, many countries. One of it is in the US. In just July last year, right, the number of applicants who start business has increased 95% compared to the same month in 2019. It is almost like saying there are 100% increase in people who want to start business. So this is Forbes. It's very interesting. It says that one company that has seen many successful transition in recent years through ups and downs of the economics world is this company called Nu Skin, because it has a leveraging digital platform. And we all know today, if you want to do a business, you cannot run away from digital platforms, right? Which is what we will talk about today. Now, Forbes also mentioned Bank of America forecasts the entire worldwide anti-aging market is going to jump 6 times in the next 4 years. This is amazing, ballooning from 100 billion only to 600 billion in the next 4 years. And at the bottom, I've circled for you, it says this company called Nu Skin that has owned and patented this technology called Egg Shop plays a very crucial role in this market, which is what we'll talk about later. Now, all of you who want to do business or start entrepreneurship today, you may want to find out what is the latest trend in the future. What are the entrepreneurship trends? Now, this is the top 16 trends, but I'm going to just focus on the top 5 trends in the world. Number 1 is business from home. Today, really, you can start a business from home, but not because it's just from home. You can also do a globalized business, although you're just sitting at home. But in order for 1 to 2 to happen, you need 3 and 4, which is mobile commerce and social commerce. This is what we're going to show you. And Nu Skin meets all these 16 worldwide entrepreneur trends. Now, what is social commerce? Today, all of you are part and parcel of social commerce, whether you like it or not. The moment you go on Amazon, Taobao, you put a feedback on Facebook, you go on Facebook Marketplace, you grab order of food, it is social commerce, all right? So you want to think that today, if you want to do business, do you have a tool that leads you on to social commerce? Because once you have this, you can reach to global market. So what kind of business are we talking about globally? Are we just talking about Nu Skin or what? From distribution to community buying to content sharing to purchasing, everything is social commerce today. Therefore, you may want to think, if today you start a business, do you have this tool? All right. Now, speaking of people doing business, there's a huge movement of entrepreneurship. Is this real? It is also even featured in the Nu Skin business as well. This is our first quarter 2021 results, financial results. Revenue has increased 31% in the right market. And look at sales leaders. Sales leaders means entrepreneurs who embark with the Nu Skin business. It has also jumped 22% as compared to year-on-year last year. All right. And obviously, customer base have also increased 34%. Now, mind you, this report came out at the height of the pandemic. And what it means is it is important that this company is also in the right market, right technology, and right tools, social commerce. Now, just a bit of background before we get into the interview. Nu Skin, it's a billion-dollar company. It's listed in New York Stock Exchange. It's global because it exists in 54 countries. Third parties like Forbes has named Nu Skin the top 5 most trusted company. Nu Skin has patented this technology called Age-Lock. It's a lifetime opportunity. It was also featured in Discovery Channel. So what is Age-Lock technology all about? It is in genetic science. In simple terms, what it can do is it can reset 92% of all genes expression to behave younger. Imagine when you're young, in your 20s, this is how your genes express. This is a young expression. But as you grow older, the expression of the young genes will turn older. This is how an old genes expression looks like. The moment you take Age-Lock products, Age-Lock supplements, Age-Lock skincare, ta-da! It resets 92% of the old genes expression to match, number one, the young genes expression. So in simple terms, in layman terms, the moment you consume Age-Lock products or use Age-Lock products, you are going to look 92% younger, feel 92% better, and more youthful. All right. Now, this Age-Lock brand value, since it was launched in 2008, has exceeded US $10 billion worth of revenue. And this range, a range of products that Nu Skin has for global distribution. All right. So today, if I'm looking at business, I would want to come and leverage on a platform that already has good products, already have competitive technology and social commerce that I can just come in and leverage on a digital platform. That's exactly what Forbes are talking about. Now, Nu Skin was also awarded the world #1 at-home beauty device system brand title because of the Age-Lock technology. So really, today you want to do business. What do people really want? Are the things that you're distributing really what people want in the world? Today, what people really want are a product that works harder, benefit at last. And the global beauty market is ready, all right? It's projected to grow 600 billion in the next 2 years to come. So what do Nu Skin have? We have a range of ultimate home spa experience, taking care of your skincare from cleansing. This is Age-Lock Me, from your moisturizer, from your daily regime. This is Age-Lock Galvanic Spa for treatment, and this is our latest, which is just being launched for the past 2 months. It's called the Age-Lock Boost. It instantly restores your skin youth. All right. So, and of course, on the wellness side, we have a range of products that is backed by Age-Lock technology. The first one is called the TR90. It's a transformation in 90 days program. This program is also named as the #1 weight management and well-being brand in Malaysia and Singapore for the past 4 years. Now, so what this program can do is, this is Junwen, our speaker for today, right? He did this program about 10 years ago, so before and after. So 10 years ago, he was in his 50s, and today he's in his 62. The program sustained. One time he did 10 years ago. And that was me. I did it after I delivered my baby. This is me after delivery, after 1 year, and I still can't get back into shape. I use Age-Lock to transform myself. This is Age-Lock TR90. So it focused on losing fat, increase muscle. And I think this is also a very important thing, especially at times like this in the pandemic. It is a huge, huge demand, right, for health. And this is my friend, 51 years old, started TR90. Look at how she was being age-locked. All right. Now, so products we have, technology is there, market is there. So what is it in here for you, right? So I'm just going to quickly touch on this. So the opportunity is simple. As long as you have a phone, you can have a global home-based business. Today, it is about global networking. One press is global networking. So new scheme compensation plan works like this. All right, it's a power of 6 generations, 5%. How does it work? It started with you. You find 5 friends to franchise this business together with you, and you duplicate the system, teaching each of them to grow this business system with you. Imagine 525, 125. Imagine, right? You grow a global franchise of 20,000 franchisees. New scheme compensation plans remunerate you 5% of each of this franchisees' business revenue, and this. So to give you a bigger vision, so this is how it works. New Scheme Business System is a global social commerce, a digital platform for you anywhere, anytime. So you start with, it starts with yourself, transform yourself, love the product, share it, just like, press a social commerce system, you share it. You have friends who come to you and say, hey, I want to try the product. They become your customers, they sign online. And you also have friends who come to you and say, hey, I want to do the business. They become the franchisee. And you teach the franchisee to do the same, to duplicate the business system. And through the social commerce system, imagine the power of social commerce today. So it keeps going and going. Imagine giving you a number, the moment you grow 100 franchisees, right? The monthly passive income, it's 15,000 US dollar per month, equivalent to 60,000 ringgit per month, or Singapore dollar 20,000 per month, right? And it's still growing because you can't stop social commerce from growing, all right? So without further ado, I would like to introduce 2 of our speakers for today, Mr. Tan Junman and Shahira. Can you please come on?
Hi there.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
All right, let me stop share. All right, so let me try to put 3 of you, okay, together. All right, thank you so much for your time, Junman, and thanks so much for your time, Shahira.
Yep, thanks for having us.
All right, let's zoom in. So Junman, you're a very smart investor and advisor, yeah? Even you were right-hand man of Lee Hsien Loong back then. So you surely have an eye for potential business or investment, right? In fact, before you started New Scheme, you were already a millionaire. So can you share with us, how did you even chance upon this business, New Scheme? And what made you say, that's it, I'm gonna go for this?
Okay, so before I entered this business, I know a lot about other financial instruments or investment, but believe me, I didn't know there was such a sector called multi-level marketing or network marketing. And of course, I have nothing to do with skincare. So I received a call from a stranger. She was a very successful stockbroker, and she was introduced by an American guy. He was then running the biggest fund in Southeast Asia. So naturally, I was curious why people like them would be doing a business like this. I went, I saw, and I decided that I would help my wife to do the business. So a little bit of background, both of us were in investments, we were stockbrokers, and my wife was thinking of maybe taking time, leaving the job market to take care of our 2 young girls there. I thought this was an excellent business, okay? Why was that? Because firstly, it was in the sunrise sector. Okay, just to go back, I did not look at it from an MLM view. I look at it from an industry view. Firstly, sunrise sector of wellness. Secondly, I don't have to put in any money. But the most important thing I saw was that a lot of fellow professionals and business owners who did it part-time, who had no previous knowledge of skincare, never used skincare. A fair number of them were men, work it part-time, and then went on to do it full-time. So I looked at it, it was really a sure win business. But to be honest, that was not, I didn't enter the business immediately for myself. I was helping my wife. But 6 weeks later, when I looked at the full company and the products and the comp plan, I was totally convinced that this was what we wanted to do as a family.
Interesting. And you talk about no need investment. I think today it is even more important to have an asset light business, right? And since you talk about that, so you're in tune with investment world up until today, yeah? Why would you, so you said, I'm impressed with this platform. So why would you still choose New Skin Business Platform as a platform to generate income? I'm sure you have many ways to generate income, right? So what is it that is so special about the New Skin platform?
Okay, so in order to generate income, we either invest in a business, we run the business ourselves, or we put in investments into property or stocks or bonds. In the first place, you need money to invest.
Yep.
You need money to invest. New Skin only require you to invest in yourself. There is no need to invest what I call capital. I mean, today, even if you start a small F&B operation, I think we're talking about a six-figure investment. So New Skin, firstly, there is no investment of capital. We invest in ourselves. Secondly, investments don't always make money. In fact, you could lose it all, right? You could lose it all. I think a lot of people mistake the last, they had bought in March, April last year at the low of the market. Wow, you're making a lot of money. You think you're such a good investor. You only will know 10 years from now whether you're able to ride a high and low. Now, so in other words, there's no sure money to be made in investment, whereas in New Skin, provided you work hard, you will make money. Whether it's $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, or $100,000 a month, depends on how hard you work. Thirdly, we invest either for income flow or for a capital gain. Right? In New Skin, it's not just income, but passive income. That means the income comes in every month. And what I also like is that income can grow over time. So for example, let's say I put in, if I had $1 million, which most people would not have, let's say I put it into an instrument that can pay me 5%. That will only be 50,000 a year, right? 5% of $1 million, which is only 4,000 a month. Now, if I wanted to double that to 8,000 a month, I need to put in another $1 million. But in New Skin, I could keep doubling and doubling just by being able to find more franchisees. So the ability to not just have a passive income, but to have this income go up and up and up exponentially, to me, makes it the best investment ever. In other words, no money down, except for investing in yourself. Passive income, sure thing because of the sector, the product, the company, and not just passive, but you can multiply up the passive income. So to me, it makes the best investment ever.
Truly an investor, a seasoned one. I picked up something from you. So you're saying there is a difference in terms of the result on what you invest, right? In New Skin, if you invest your time, you get monthly passive income that not only can grow, but can grow at the rate where you don't have to pump in any cost. While other investment, if you want to increase the result, right, you have to keep pumping on the money. And this money is not something that you can get every month. You have to wait for it to grow, if it grows.
I mean, like Jean, last month, you knew your group, the month of May versus the month of April, you grew tremendously. Yeah. And when you took your first quarter numbers over the first quarter of last year or the first 5 months of this year, you knew you continue to grow. How many businesses you knew could grow?
Yeah, without pumping in any more cost.
All right, okay, stock prices have gone up a lot since then. But just take a year from now, May 2022 over now, are you sure your stock market, the stock price will keep going up? Your property will keep going up? No, you know.
Absolutely. I'll come back to that particular question later. Now I move on to Shah. Shah, thank you so much for your time. Now I know after being in the banking finance sector for almost 11 years, right? You decided to quit and full-time New Skin. So it is quite hard to believe that you just gave up a steady paycheck of a relationship manager to run the New Skin business. What made you do that? So brave.
Yeah, Jean, it was a very big step that I took getting out of corporate altogether. But I think what I saw at the start was that this business is not just another business. It was truly the platform that could give me the kind of life that I wanted to live if I were to leave the corporate world. Because a lot of times people think that, you know, I need this stable paycheck. I need this job so that I can live a certain lifestyle. But New Skin allows me to live the same lifestyle, if not even better, right? Through doing the business. So I saw New Skin not just as a business, but also as a model that was really scalable and that could take me to places that I could otherwise not achieve staying in the corporate sector. So when I saw what it could do for me and my family, I decided that it was the platform that I was going to work on and leave. But that didn't happen immediately, like everybody, we went through phases. So I was in the business for about 6 months before I decided that, okay, hey, you know what, this is it, right? And I only left a year after running the business because the income from the New Skin business actually tripled my day salary. And that's when I decided, okay, you know what, I can leave actually my relationship manager job to run this full time because it's real. Because I've seen the money, I've seen it come in. I know I can run the business, and that's what made me give me the confidence and the boost to actually leave the corporate sector and run this business full time. Yeah,
I think this is a tremendous thing that a lot of working class are actually going through phases that you were just mentioning, especially in the past 1.5 years, right? So you're telling me a career that you have been, spending your whole life building for the past 11 years, whatever paycheck you get after 11 years, you actually can triple that paycheck in just 1 year of doing New Skin business.
yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
so I think a lot of people are actually looking for platforms to do that.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that people always think, like, because I was in a frontline role, I was as an RM, I'm doing sales, so technically my income, I mean, from a banker's perspective, there's no limit, right? Because you're being paid commission, right? You have a basic salary, and then they pay you quarterly bonuses for your performance. Technically, there's no limit per se.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, what people don't realize is that what you're building is a business for the bank. It's not a business for you. So what happens at the end of the day is you never stop running. You keep running and running and running, and you realize that you're just going in circles. You know,
and 11 years, I'm sure the first thing that kicked you when you quit is, hey, nothing belongs to me.
Yeah,
everything becomes zero right on.
Yeah, actually, that's a realization I had when I was still working, because like technically every quarter our targets were reset back to zero, and you have to build again, right? So that was a realization I had while I was working, and that's what made me appreciate the New Skin business a lot more.
Thank you so much. Now, as a relationship manager, you sell financial products to your high net worth clients. Yeah, that means you need to know your thing. Yeah, you need to know. And so why would you leave to sell? A lot of people say, hey, I don't want to do new skincare, lady thing, beauty thing, right? Why would you, who are selling financial products, sell skincare products? Obviously, your bank pays you better.
That's not true. The bank doesn't pay me better. It pays me better, Jean. Okay, so basically, a lot of people, when I tell them that I'm doing the New Skin business, they scratch their head like, why would you do this? It's like, why would you want to sell lotions and potions? But the thing is, I did not leave the bank or leave the corporate sector to sell skincare, because if I wanted to do that at 21, I would have joined SK2, become the counter girl and sell SK2 to the people like Takashimaya. I didn't do that, right? The reason why I left the industry, or why I left actually as an RM, was really because I don't see this business as something that's just purely a selling business. Of course, every business, part and parcel, you have to sell, because otherwise then where's your revenue coming in from, right? But at the end of the day, I realized that the time I spent here in New Skin is actually being used to build a business of leverage. I'm not building a business of selling skincare. I'm building a business of leverage. And leverage is something that you cannot get staying in the corporate sector, for sure, because you're selling time for money all the time, right? When I build this business, I know that the time I'm investing in here is building leverage for me over time, right? I don't see it. Yes, the sales income can be quite a lot at the start, but the leverage income is something that you see in the longer run, and it can go in multiple folds, like what Junan mentioned, the tens of thousands, 100,000, millions, and billions, right? Depending on how far you want to go with the business. So that's what I saw with the New Skin business. It's not just to sell a $40 cleanser to someone who's, you see me on social media washing my face with the cleanser and everything, but that's not what I'm doing. Yes, I'm selling, of course, but what I'm building is the bigger scale of things, not just the
because a lot of people would just look at the business, without really understanding and say, hey, I don't want to sell products. But these two financial experts are telling you that they're here to build a business of leverage. right? Now, Junwen, back to you. You are now 62 years old, right? Proudly speaking, and you have experienced rounds of world economic crisis, SARS, and now even a never seen and never experienced before pandemic. So these few questions later, I'm going to talk about what we all are very interested to know, which is pandemic, okay? Now, based on your experience, a lot of people would tell me, hey, Jean, let's invest in gold. Hey, it's a very good time to do stocks now, you know? So property, currencies, right? Bitcoins. So what are your thoughts on all this? What is the 100% sure win? I want sure win.
Okay.
I don't want to lose money.
So first, in this very challenging environment, be it for jobs, be it for business and incomes, there are two very dangerous places where you don't want to go. Two very dangerous. The most dangerous place is the one where someone comes to you with an investment that is sure win and that is paying above the odds. In other words, 2% a month, some forex, some gold coin, some whatever, 20-something% a year.
Yeah.
Sure thing. Yeah, that means, wow, I'm going to take out my life savings, because if I put something in at 20% a year, you can do the math. In 4 years' time, you will double your money. And so the guy is thinking dollar, and you don't have to do any work. This friend of mine will invest for you. He's a super duper investor. So in my first place, there is no free lunch. If there was such an investment, even paying not 20%, let's just say 8%, 10% sure return, there is no such thing. And if it was, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan will be marketing it. All the billionaires will be in it. Correct? Okay. So firstly, do not even go near this thing. The only sure investment, which is cash. Now, cash, holding cash or putting it in fixed deposit is the second most dangerous place to be.
Why?
Okay, because today, your interest rates are so low, it's practically zero, right? I remember after the 2008 Lehman crisis, from 2009 all the way to 2020, interest rates were very low. However, prices of the thing that we want to consume keep going up. Gee, you have a 4-year-old boy. I'm sure you have aspirations for him to attend a good university, maybe even if he can get in Stanford, Imperial College. Now, do you know that the inflation cost for education is rising 5, 6, 7, 8% every year? Wow. Compounded. Now, if you left your money in cash for your boy, by the time you're ready to spend it, you know the numbers, right? So it's depreciating. Equally, health cost for you and your husband and for your parents is rising at a similar rate. So what I'm trying to say is, a lot of people think, I want to be conservative. I want to keep my cash where I can see. I put my cash in the bank at 0.5%. Sorry, you're going to get hurt. And after this pandemic, I forecast another 10 years of very low interest rates. So is there something in between that we can do? I'm not going to talk about investments today. There definitely are. But I just want to highlight that Nu Skin meets all the criteria of an investment that is completely safe because I don't need to invest capital. The return is much higher than all these guys are telling you, provided you work as a business. But even if you did nothing, you don't lose anything. So to me, it is not only the safest investment, but it's the best return for zero capital.
Absolutely. Wow, I picked up the word investment can be depreciating, especially when you put money into the bank. I've never thought about that.
Yeah. No, that's why the rich get richer. You know why? The rich billionaires can go and borrow money from the bank, buy more property, buy more tech shares. The poor guys can't even get a loan from the bank because they're checking your income slip and whatnot, right? And you put your money in the bank, which earns 0.5%. Then your friend comes along and say, I can make 20% for you. Of course, you're tempted, right? 0.5, 20. And then guess what? You lose it all. And when you lose it, it's very hard to get it back because you're in your 40s or 50s. Yeah, the end of your career. So please, guys, do not make those mistakes.
So it is even more important, especially at times like this when you need money and you need it to be safe for long for you.
And
Don't
grow
invest.
to keep up with inflation. You need it to grow because money by itself, if you do nothing in the bank for the next 10 years, I forecast it will depreciate.
All right. Okay. Now, same question to you, Shah. As a banker dealing with high net worth clients, yeah, how do you see them dealing with investments? Do you see any difference with investments like Nu Skin?
So the thing is, being, if you're a client of mine and if you wanted to invest, naturally you have to have at least $3 million sitting in your bank account before you could actually invest. Okay, so that's the minimum net worth that you need to keep with the bank before you can actually invest your money. How many of us actually have $3 million sitting in the bank account? I'm not talking about Sing dollars, not talking about ringgit, I'm talking about US dollars, right? Not a lot of us have that kind of capital to start an investment. Like what Juman mentioned, you need money to make more money, right? So with Nu Skin, right, the way I see it, it's something that it's really, I mean, in the long term, something that you can actually even create as a legacy for your next generation. I mean, when I deal with these high net worth clients, they always talk about legacy planning, leaving something behind for their children, in case anything happens to them, putting them in wills, in trust. So the thing is, with Nu Skin, you are actually able to do what they are doing without needing the millions of dollars to secure right now for them to actually leave behind eventually, when they pass on. So Nu Skin is not just a place for you to just build a business, but also to build a legacy for your next generation. And people don't see this. People see because in traditional businesses, when you run a business, if let's say your children decide not to run the business, when the day you pass on, the business is just being sold away and there's no more income coming in. Whereas with Nu Skin, it goes down through generations because the income keeps coming in even after we depart from this earth. So that income goes to your next generation, and you can actually will it down for charities, for whatever causes that you have, or for your children, grandchildren, or whatever, right? So that is the main key difference that I saw here versus what I was actually selling to my clients, right? All the legacy plans and whatnot, because that required a huge amount of capital.
And that's the $3 million US we're talking about, yeah, which means like all of you say there are certain investments that are only for people who have money to create money. Yeah. But what I also love, from what you mentioned that I picked up, is Nu Skin is really for everyone. Today, if you decide to grow a legacy, a business that can grow, you can just plug into the system. It's for everyone.
Yeah.
Shah, won't you agree? For many of us who don't have that $3 million, in Nu Skin, we can generate a return higher than $3 million that you can do for your client. Absolutely, and still keep growing. Yes or no?
Yes, and you know what's the best part? Zero risk.
Yes.
Zero risk.
And your clients don't always make money, right? Sometimes they lose money, right?
Exactly, yeah.
That's why I always love to pick the brains of financial experts. They really just tell you the truth.
Yeah.
All right. Now, gentlemen, where do you foresee the trend of personal wellness where Nu Skin is, right? Especially, where do you see Nu Skin business moving in the near future?
Okay. Firstly, in the sector of personal wellness, or what we call anti-aging, it's very fashionable to say it's a sunrise sector. But even within the sunrise sector, I think only a minority of companies will do well. Now, what kind of attributes would these companies have in the wellness sector that will do well? Firstly, the products must be unique, because if you're just selling something that everyone else is selling, no point. Secondly, the products must show near instant results, like our galvanic spa, like our boost, like our Lumi spa, our TR90 will show result within a week, 2 weeks, and yet have long-lasting effects. Thirdly, for most of us, we need the products to be affordable. Maybe there is some great wellness product at some spa up in the mountains of Switzerland that you can only access by private plane or helicopter. Guess how much those treatments will cost? Probably hundreds of thousands. Most of us cannot afford it. But this product is so affordable and yet is customizable. How is that possible? Through the direct selling way. And of course, the online section is very important. The online, not just of delivery of the product, ordering, delivering of the product, but being able to consult So for example, if I'm selling this product to someone in Melbourne, that Melbourne person can buy from the Melbourne showcase, which is set up by Nu Skin, but I can consult with the person how to use the spa. I can invite this person to go into a spa workshop done in Malaysia or done in Hong Kong. Equally, I could speak to someone in Vancouver, and with Vera, the face analysis app and various things coming in, we are also able to customize it. So first, the product must be unique. Secondly, the product must show very quick results, but long-term benefits. Thirdly, it is an affordable product and yet is customizable. And that's only possible because of R&D, because of the direct selling delivery method. And of course, the online component is very important. So I note, for example, I want to give you two examples of companies that have done very well. One of them is called Peloton, which is, you get a bike, Peloton, and then you can do all kinds of workout. Can you see they have a unique product? They give very good service. They have all these trainers training you on. The Peloton bike is very special. They have online Zoom with them. Sometimes I use the Peloton, I can run with them too. Another very good example is Lululemon. Lululemon product is a technical product. It's not cheap, but once you use Lululemon, you love it. Okay? Now, Lululemon, the last 12, 15 months, actually their physical store sales went down, but their online sales went up more than compensated. So all these wellness companies, even though one is in fitness, another one is into leisure wear, like us, have all the same type of attribute to succeed in our respective subsector of the wellness industry.
Awesome. Awesome. And I like you mentioned about, the product, our Nu Skin business is part and parcel, like it's in an FMCG business. That's doing very well. It's consumption goods.
I want to make, I know a lot of people will be saying, oh, but then during this period when people are worried about jobs, surely they spend less. I say, not true. Let's deal with that. I mean, you mentioned earlier, first quarter results, January to March this year, we announced worldwide, our sales went up 31% versus January to March of 2020, which was a non-COVID period. And our new customers went up 30-something over %, and so on and so forth. Isn't it amazing? So the proof, the pudding, more people are embracing Nu Skin product. And maybe during this time where we all have to stay at home, they have more time to listen to the consultants like yourself, why this is good. And they can see with the Zoom, wow, the immediate result, or social media, the TR90, and so on and so forth. So I think we really have the best of all worlds for us now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Junwen. Now, Shah, a lot of people, the moment, especially at times like this, they say, I have no time. All right. I'm staying at home already. I'm taking care of everything myself and work, and I have no time, right? But your business grew tremendously last year. It was one of the most challenging years for you because, it's your first baby, no maid, nothing. So you grew crazy last year. And not to mention this year, it's also another challenging pandemic year. Your business continued to grow, don't know how many times, right? So how did you do that? Is it really possible to run a Nu Skin business on top of everything?
Okay, so I think the first thing that people have to realize is that you have to make the decision to want to make this work. Because if you decide that this is not going to work for you, then nothing is going to work for you, right? So making that decision is important. And then after that, prioritizing whether or not this is something that you want to do. So once that decision is in place, then you carry out the action. So the other reason how my business could actually grow tremendously throughout these 2 years is really because throughout the COVID season, actually, I was very surprised. It's really because our business platform is very seamless, right? So naturally, for everyone, I was also, a little bit jittery when, COVID hit and realized, oh no, I cannot meet people now. Like how am I going to run this business, right? And, my pregnancy was not so easy because my morning sickness was bad and this and that, right? But I realized that because I've already built the business for some time, right? That's the first part. And then of course, naturally, when COVID hit, the transition was very smooth. Nu Skin actually provided, logistics help in terms of, shipping was free, everything was just falling into place, and they came up with a lot more online materials for us to use via social and things like that. So I was basically running the business from home. not meeting people like how I used to, but the income actually grew a lot more from the time I used to meet people. And you know what's the best part? Because you do it from home and you do it through your social platforms, you're not just presenting to one person, you're presenting to the entire world. And that's very, very powerful when it comes to the internet. So
Today,
yeah, so that's how the business actually grew. And you know, back then, you know, networking events were like, okay, you go meet a person face to face, network, meet new people, you know. But you know, when you're forced to do it online, the networking changes, right? You use these platforms to get to know people, right? And I mean, the core of the business does not change. You still need to get to know people. You still need to talk to people. But what changes is just the method of doing things. But at the core of it, we're still doing the same thing. So that's how the business actually grew seamlessly throughout this pandemic season.
I think whatever you say, it's really in line with what Forbes, you know, remember I just started the session saying Forbes has been saying, now is the time to grow your business.
Exactly.
Right? And with the social media, really, you can just do this anywhere, anytime.
Correct.
Right? And so my next question for you, Shah, it's why is now the best time for people here tuning in today, in your own words, from your heart, why do you think it's now the time for them to come on?
Now is the perfect time because everybody's home, right? When everybody's home, everybody has your attention. When people are busy doing the things that they want to do outside in their lives, they don't have your attention. You want to ask them for time, you got to make time. They got to make time for you, right? But because now everyone's home, everybody's stuck in the pandemic. It's not a nice thing to say that everybody's stuck at home. I mean, I'm quite tired of this COVID thing as well. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're not left with a choice. Everybody is really at home. And this is the best time for you to actually talk to people and grow the business. Because if you don't use this as an opportunity, behind every what do you call this? Bad situation, there's always it's how you look at it, right? Positive versus negative. If you see this as a time where you can actually grow your business, create more good, then it's gonna be like that for you. And this is the perfect time because this is when you can actually grow your business from home. You have everyone's attention, and this is when your business can truly.
And I think one of the most important thing is people are looking for business opportunity. And one of the biggest product Newskin has is the 5% sixth generation business system, seamless.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Shah. Now, Jivan, I can't do sales. I have no experience. I have no time. What if I don't make it? These are the things that people don't dare to do the business or don't want to do the business, right? Can everyone do Newskin in your experience?
Okay, so I tend to look at it another way. I think when we talk to people about doing Newskin, they put up a wall, a defensive wall. I can't do sales. I don't like MLM. I have no contacts. I don't want to sell skincare. But I would like to turn the question around. I mean, honestly, if not for Newskin, I won't bother to look at skincare. But now that when I decided to do Newskin, I use the product, I love it. Now I cannot do without it. Okay. Do I naturally like to go and talk to people about doing a business, overcoming this? No, I don't like it as well. I also don't like to come out of my comfort zone to talk to people I don't know very well about something like this, right? So actually the question should be turned around. If I wanted to, I meet you, Jean, I said, would you be open to an opportunity vehicle that doesn't require you to risk any of your savings and can give you passive income in excess of tens of thousands of US dollars per month for life? Tens of thousands and multiples of that. So everything in life is about framing the right question. Now, if you then believe, if your answer to my first question was yes, I am open to looking at an opportunity that has got no risk, that doesn't require my capital because I don't have money to put in anyway, and starting from zero base of being in this industry, never use skincare, I would like to explore. Now, once you say yes, even you're a bit tentative, then I would be able to show you how to overcome, don't know how to do sales, no network, so on and so forth. And this is actually validated by real life people succeeding who have no sales experience, who have never used skincare like myself. Now, Shah and myself, you could argue we do sales. but we do sales of financial product. What has that got to do with sales of new skincare product? Nothing, right? So what I see is really a question of, do you need to look at a vehicle opportunity or another way where you can have passive income, where you can have peace of mind for the future, where you can provide for the family, your young ones, your old ones, like your parents and yourself, that is not counting on you having your job. There's not counting on you having perfect wealth. There's not counting on you having already constructed a portfolio that's going to carry you through. I think those are the more interesting questions, because once that is answered, you find the introverts will do well. You find the ones with no sales experience will do well. Because if the question is not answered, the best salesman will fall out. The extrovert will fall out. So I think it's how we frame the question.
So, I mean, it's like you always tell us, right? When you were, the right-hand man of Lee Hsien Loong, he will always tell you, ask the right question. Okay. Yep. So given your credentials, given your kind of background, many would feel that, hey, you're already at a certain stage in your career, you know a lot of people, very influential, it'd be very easy for you to do new skin, right? Networking, right? But for people, let's say I'm a working class today, I'm tuning in, I want to look at this business, but I don't know whether I can do it. What kind of attitude or what kind of basic tools I need to be able to make it in this business, especially at times like that? I want to earn money fast. What do you think I can do?
Okay, I think the first thing is what Shah just said earlier. Make that one decision you're going to do new skin. Second thing you're going to do, you're going to believe that this thing will carry you all the way. Then you listen and you do what your uplines tell you to do. The uplines say use this range of products, you don't argue, do it. The upline say do name list, you do it. The upline teach you how to invite, you do it. The upline teach you how to do demo, to invite people for a party, a home demo, a spa party or whatever, or you do it, okay? Because we must again understand. I always ask people this question, do you know what business we are in? We are in the franchise business. Of course, everybody loves the idea of franchising, like Starbucks, like Subway, like 7-Eleven. But today, if you don't have the money, Starbucks will not come and look for you. Okay, so why are we interested in franchising? Because there is a system which the franchisor below you and the franchisor below you and the franchisor in another country can copy and duplicate. When you duplicate, there is scale, there is leverage. So the key is you must leave your ego at the door, go back to zero, and duplicate what your uplines tell you, which is sometimes very hard for people who have been very successful in whatever they do because they want to do things their way. And sometimes people who don't quite believe find it very hard. So I would say, decide that this is what you want to do and you're going to succeed come what may. Believe totally. And 3, just follow what your uplines tell you. They have your best interest at heart. Absolutely. So it's really that simple. But the simplest things in life are the hardest things to do.
Yep. All right. Now, I also encourage all of you to ask questions. Yeah, I'm going to come to a few more last questions for Juman and Shah. Now, Shah, like a lot of us, we are employee. Yeah. Now, you have been an employee all the while. How did you just transition to becoming your own boss, entrepreneurship? So what is the experience like? What about expectations? Were you afraid when you first started?
Yes, naturally, I was afraid because, the first thing that I had to get over was the hurdle of mindset. And I think this is very true for a lot of people, especially, because the industry has a negative connotation. So that was one of the toughest things to get over. But once you see this as something that can bring good to the people around you, then everything becomes easy, right? How did the transition happen? The transition happened because I made time for it while I was an employee. It did not just happen overnight, right? When I was still working at that time, I did not have my son yet. So, but I was also teaching fitness classes on the side and all that kind of stuff. So apart from work, I actually allocate time after work during lunchtime to actually run the business. So again, it comes back to that decision to want to run this business, and then you make it work around your schedule. You know what I mean? So yeah. instead of you going with the flow and seeing, okay, if I have time today, then I talk to people. If I don't have time today, I won't talk to people. Then you're not running a business. Then that's a hobby, right? Because if I have time today, I'll paint. If I don't have time, I won't paint. But if it's a business, then you have to run it regardless of whether you have time or no time, right? So once you have that mindset, or you have that intention, then at the end of the day, it's just carrying out the actions, doing the work, and then don't worry about the results, because the results will come if you continue putting in the effort. If you follow the system. I mean, there's already a system in place, so don't try to reinvent the wheel. That's what we're saying.
All right. Now, Junwen.
So transitioning was easy in the sense that you don't have your inner demons, it's easy, right? But if you have a lot of negative thoughts that this cannot, that cannot, this cannot, that cannot, then maybe entrepreneurship is not for you. I'll just be honest and blunt, if you're not willing to move out of your comfort zone, then maybe this is not for you. You definitely have to move out of your comfort zone and explore new territories, uncharted waters that you have never, gone through before. So yeah.
I think this is also a very important point, because especially at times like this, it's a time of change. I mean, the world just changed overnight.
Yeah.
Right? It is really a time that calls for real changes. And plus, what you just mentioned is very true. It is time for us to really get out of comfort zone so that we get different results. Just like how the world has changed to get different results. Right? In fact, all businesses are changing.
Yeah.
Right? In order to survive. All right. Thank you so much, Shah. Now, Junwen, how has Nu Skin impacted your life? If you were not doing Nu Skin, what's the result today?
Actually, I was we jumped into the business because the presenter who presented to us asked us this question: what is the risk of doing? This is way before we started. What is the risk of doing Nu Skin versus the risk of not doing? Now, actually, the second question is the more important question. The first question, people keep dwelling on it. Oh, what if I don't make it? What if I don't have time? What if I don't have the personality? Actually, the answer to the first question, what is the risk of doing, is zero. Is zero, really. There is no risk whatsoever, But what is the risk of not doing is the life I would not have had. Okay, so what is that? So starting from top to toe, I firstly would probably have less hair because I'll be worrying all the time about the next paycheck. Maybe my hair will be more white, maybe I won't look as young. My tummy will be bigger because I don't have TR90. So my tummy bigger, less hair, and then my bank account will be smaller. So to me, Nu Skin has given me, and all who embrace Nu Skin and treat it like a business and work it, 5 benefits. One, it's financial freedom. And let me define financial freedom. Having an income, tens of thousands of US dollars per month and multiples of that for life, and then it passes on as a legacy to your next of kin. Two is the time freedom. Again, when I was working, when I was making good money, I may have time flexibility, but I don't have time freedom. Time freedom means I can do nothing for a whole year, for years on end, and still the money comes in. And Nu Skin is the only platform I know that can give me that. Third thing, I have my youth. Fourth thing, I have my health. And the fifth, because I have the first four, is the most valuable, complete peace of mind about the future. I'm 62 this year. I've enjoyed the Nu Skin income for a good period of time, 2 decades. At 62, really, I should not have a job that can give me active income. In fact, I would have long, and I see the peers in my industry, long ago, they no longer have active income. So they are surviving on the income or the dividends from their reserves. But yet, I have an active income and I'm doing so much less than when I started. And I will have it all the way till I leave this earth, then it passes on to my estate. I think it's the best. Work hard for a few good years, enjoy for the rest of your time. So in this business, I only need to succeed one time.
Amazing. Complete peace of mind, especially at times like this. Really, how many people can say, I have complete peace of mind in the midst of a worldwide pandemic? Right. So amazing. Maybe last word of advice before I move on to Shah. So, Junwen, what is your business has been year on year growing, even at times of pandemic. What's your advice, a heartfelt advice, for people today tuning in, say, should I do this? Should I do this? What's that advice for them?
Okay, in one word, decide. Decide the kind of life you want. Decide that you want a life where you are not held hostage by whether your boss still likes you, whether boss say, okay, you can carry on working from home, but I cut your pay 30%, or maybe why don't you take early retirement, or maybe this and that. Decide on a life where you don't worry if suddenly there's a medical emergency. Decide on a life where you can have the best for yourself, your parents, and your next generation. And for that, for all of that and more, you do need a passive income that's coming in all the time, in the order of tens of thousands. Yeah, things are very expensive these days. You need your time, you need your youth, you need your health. And again, I have scouted the landscape. There is no other instrument other than Nu Skin that can give me this. I mean, we're not Jeff Bezos. We didn't invest in Amazon and held it on all the way. We cannot have this. So for ordinary people like us, I challenge anyone to come up with zero capital. Don't say you get money from your akong to invest in the market or whatever, or your grandfather, your father give you a big house or some shop houses to just enjoy for the rest of your life. Starting from zero capital, you can have this kind of life. You make a decision whether you want it. Okay, but if you decide you want a life that is seemingly comfortable, don't come out of your comfort zone. Actually, to me, that is the life of the most dangerous one, because you are hoping for a life that is perfect. You're hoping you'll get employed until 60, 65, no major illnesses and whatever. It's not going to happen. Life always throws you curveballs. By the time those curveballs come, it's a bit too late to change. So make a decision. Decide that you want the best life for yourself. Decide on Nu Skin as the vehicle to achieve that life.
It is one of the most powerful, thing that you just mentioned. Someone coming from someone like you who used to advise, the PM of Singapore, and you're saying, I've gone through the entire landscape, right? And I think this is the sure win safety net for just any ordinary people to build. As long as you build, you can get complete peace of mind.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Junwen. Very value add for us. And same question to you, our relationship manager. What's your last word of advice for people who have gut feels and say, I think there's something here, but I'm not sure. What's your last word of advice?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it. We'll figure it out later, but just go for it. Okay, so I mean, actually, Junwen stole my answer. I wanted to tell people to decide, but anyway, never mind. It's okay. So maybe I just share something a little bit more closer to heart, because my dad was made redundant. He's in Junwen's age group. He's in his early 60s, and he was made redundant at the start of the COVID season. Because he's in the aviation industry, and as you know, we can't travel now, so aviation was cutting staff. So what happened to him was, after 20 years of service with the company just said, thank you for your service, goodbye, gave him a very small certificate that says, thank you for your 20 years of service with the company. And that's it, his income just stopped. But thankfully for him, he has me, because I was about to involve them. So I managed to retire my parents because I'm running this business, right? So both my parents are not working. But here's the thing, if you don't do something today, yes, we can't see the future. What makes you think at 60 something you will not be made redundant? I'm not trying to spread negative vibes or energy, but that's the reality. The reality is that we live in a world where if you don't plan for the future, then you're not going to have the kind of life that you can potentially live comfortably in the future. So what I'm saying is, if you see there's something here and something your gut tells you that there's something here for you to explore, just go with your gut, go with it. And then we'll figure things out along the way. Don't think too much about it, because the mind will always tell you not to do things that you're not familiar with. And that's natural psychology, right? So if you keep thinking about it, I'm telling you, 99% you end up not doing this. So if there's something here, if you think that, okay, you know what, I think these people are good people, they don't cheat people, I think there's something here for me to explore, just go with that gut flow and just jump into it and just do it. We'll figure it out with you along the way. Yeah.
Perfect advice, because it is so relatable to a lot of us now. A lot of us used to come from an industry that never fire people. Aviation was one of the safest industry. Finance, right? Even government. right? And you're saying it can just end after 20 years.
Yeah.
Right, made redundant. And what I also love what you said at the end is, hey, it is not, this business is not just for my peace of mind, it's for everybody's peace of mind. When they need you, you can provide. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now let me see whether anyone has any more questions, because these are my last questions for Junwen and Shah. All right. Anyone? Any questions that you want to talk about? If not, thank you so much for Shah and Junwen. I highly recommend all of you to talk to the friends who invite you here. Entrepreneurship today, it's no longer something a taboo or only rich people can do. Entrepreneurship is the new norm. It is anywhere, anytime. There's a world movement going on with this. Join us. All right. With that, thank you so much, Junwen. Thank you so much, Shah, for your time. Thank you so much, everyone, from tuning in from different parts of the world. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.